What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got some major stuff going on here today, multiple different things for you guys here in this video. Also in this video, I want to talk about a very important date coming on September 28th that is going to be for over 40 million Americans, which could mean a significant amount of money in your pocket. We'll address that in this video here as well. The state of New York and New York Attorney General is suing former President Donald Trump company and family members over widespread fraud claims of at least $250 million in penalties. Here is a quick excerpt of the New York Attorney General, what she has to say, and gives you an idea of why this is happening and her statement. Take a listen.
Following a comprehensive 3-year investigation by my office, including witnesses, interviews with more than 65 witnesses, and review of millions of documents that were submitted by Mr. Trump and others, I am announcing that today we are filing a lawsuit against Donald Trump for violating the law as part of his efforts to generate profits for himself, his family, and his company. The complaint demonstrates that Donald Trump falsely inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself and to cheat the system, thereby cheating all of us. He did this with the help of the other defendants, his children, Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka Trump, and Eric Trump, and former Trump Organization CFO Alan Weisselberg and Trump Organization Controller Jeffrey McConney. Mr. Trump and the Trump Organization repeatedly and persistently manipulated the value of assets to induce banks to lend money to the Trump Organization on more favorable terms than would otherwise have been available to the company, to pay lower taxes, to satisfy continuing loan agreements, and to induce insurance companies to provide insurance coverage for higher limits and at lower premiums. This conduct was all in violation of Executive Law, Section 6312, which gives the Attorney General broad and special powers to go after persistent and repeated fraud and illegality. As part of demonstrating illegality under that section of Law 6312, we show that they violated several state criminal laws, including falsifying business records, issuing false financial statements, insurance fraud, and engaging in a conspiracy to commit each of these state law violations. We believe the conduct alleged in this action also violates federal criminal law, including issuing false statements to financial institutions and bank fraud. And we are referring those criminal violations that we've uncovered to the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York and the Internal Revenue Service. As a result of these violations, we are asking the court to, among other things, permanently bar Mr. Trump, Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka Trump, Eric Trump, from serving as an officer or director in any corporation or similar entity registered and or licensed in New York. To bar Mr. Trump and the Trump Organization from entering into any New York State commercial real estate acquisition or from applying for loans from any financial institution in New York for 5 years. To pay for the financial benefits obtained as a result of the persistent fraudulent practices at an estimated $250 million. And towards the end of my remarks, I will go into the other relief that we are seeking. At the center of the year-long financial scheme were the statements of financial condition that were prepared annually by and for Mr. Trump, specifically from 2011 to 2021. These statements were compiled by the Trump Organization executives and were issued as a compilation report by Mr. Trump's accounting firm. The statements are explicit that the preparation was the responsibility of Mr. Trump. Or starting in 2016, the trustees of his trust, Donald Trump Jr. and Alan Weisselberg, for the sole beneficiary, for the sole benefit of Mr. Donald Trump.
Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here on this. This has been a part of a 3-year investigation by New York State and the New York Attorney General. You heard the details there of all this documents and details and witnesses that they have gone through. And now that they have filed this, this is probably just the start of this. It's this is probably going to continue to be on a long, lengthy process as well. It's not like this is going to be ending anytime soon. So, yeah, I mean, this could be months, maybe even years going forward from here now forward as well. And then we also have the FBI case with former President Donald Trump and the classified documents as well. You can see here right on the front page of Yahoo News, this is the whole front page right here is the New York Attorney General filing the $250 million lawsuit and that Trump can't prove that he declassified the documents to the Department of Justice. And of the thousands and thousands of documents seized by the FBI, that he can't prove that he declassified them in any official manner. So this is major, major news because former President Donald Trump, not only is he a former president of the United States, but he's the current front runner for the next Republican Party candidate for the United States in the next election of 2024, the next presidential election. So you can let me know your thoughts here on this. And meanwhile, we have some major news here on the war in Russia and Ukraine. President Putin from Russia has mobilized 300,000 new troops for war and warns he's not bluffing with a nuclear threat. So this comes as he's literally adding 300,000 new troops because, I mean, if you've been watching our channel, watching the news, they've really been kind of losing here lately as Ukraine has taken back 6,000 square kilometers of land, and Putin's basically saying he's not giving up no matter what at this point, even though just a few days ago he told the Indian Prime Minister that he would give up as soon as possible. Apparently, as soon as possible means never or until he wins. So, what does he do? 2 days later, he mobilizes 300,000 new troops. And these are military reservists and from Russia. Meanwhile, massive headlines all around the world here. This one from Business Insider. Plane tickets out of Russia are selling out after Putin announces partial military mobilization. Families fleeing the country as opposed to being called into the war against their will. Remember that Russia has a draft where they can draft you into the military against your will every single year. Every single year, whether they're in war or not, they do this every year. So literally, people are just fleeing the country now already. Plane tickets sold out. Here's another headline here from Yahoo. Putin's troops are performing so poorly in Ukraine right now that many Russian volunteers are refusing to go into combat already, U.S. officials say. But nonetheless, they're still mobilizing 300,000 new troops. I mean, even if some of them defect, that's still a massive amount of people. A massive amount of people here. President Biden has given a United Nations address here today. Here's what he has to say.
In the last year, our world has experienced great upheaval. A growing crisis in food insecurity, record heat, floods, and droughts, COVID-19, inflation, and a brutal, needless war. A war chosen by one man, to be very blunt. Let us speak plainly. A permanent member of the United Nations Security Council invaded its neighbor, attempted to erase a sovereign state from the map. Russia has shamelessly violated the core tenets of the United Nations Charter. No more important than the clear prohibition against countries taking the territory of their neighbor by force. Again, just today, President Putin has made overt nuclear threats against Europe and a reckless disregard for the responsibilities of the non-proliferation regime. Now, Russia's calling up more soldiers to join the fight, and the Kremlin is organizing a sham referenda to try to annex parts of Ukraine, an extremely significant violation of the UN Charter. This world should see these outrageous acts for what they are. Putin claims he had to act because Russia was threatened. But no one threatened Russia. And no one other than Russia sought conflict. In fact, we warned it was coming. And with many of you, we worked to try to avert it. Putin's own words make his true purpose unmistakable. Just before he invaded, Putin asserted, and I quote, Ukraine was created by Russia and never had, quote, real statehood. And now we see attacks on schools, railway stations, hospitals, on centers of Ukrainian history and culture. In the past, even more horrifying evidence of Russia's atrocity and war crimes. Mass graves uncovered in Izium, bodies, according to those who excavated those bodies, showing signs of torture. This war is about extinguishing Ukraine's right to exist as a state, plain and simple, and Ukraine's right to exist as a people. Whoever you are, wherever you live, whatever you believe, that should make your blood run cold. That's why 141 nations in the General Assembly came together and to unequivocally condemn Russia's war against Ukraine. The United States has marshaled massive levels of security assistance and humanitarian aid and direct economic support for Ukraine.
Also, you can see here President Biden to announce $2.9 billion at the UN to address food insecurity for the world. This is expected to be in addition to what is going to come here on September 28th. So this would be separate because this is mostly for third world poverty nations here. That type of stuff like that. Nearly $3 billion in new U.S. commitments to address global food insecurity that has been worsened by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. To the United Nations General Assembly, Biden will outline $2 billion in global humanitarian assistance through the U.S. Agency for International Development to increase emergency food security programming in countries most affected by the pandemic and supply chain woes exacerbated by the war in Ukraine. This also includes $220 million through the Department of Agriculture for 8 new schools feeding projects that would benefit children in Africa and East Asia. Also, $150 million to the U.S. from the U.S. to the Global Agricultural and Food Security Program. On September 28th, so about a week from now, is when we will see the White House conference for the SNAP program, food stamp program. I don't know, maybe WIC program, something maybe in addition. But this is when the White House will be going over the food stamp and food stamp program, where the White House says that SNAP benefits are not enough. And maybe we will also see a raise to SNAP benefits, food stamp benefits. Over 40 million Americans are on this as well. Remember that the president did just do an executive order for student loan forgiveness of $10,000 to $20,000 for over 43 million Americans. So will we also see a SNAP benefit payments for this next food stamp program coming here on September 28th. I will keep you up to date here on that. Also, I'll address the Fed rate hike here and the Fed announcement that'll be coming here later today in my next video at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight. So make sure to tune into that at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight with the major announcement coming here on that. So make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button, then the bell icon that appears after you subscribe. If you haven't yet, it's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on our new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember those times. That's when new videos come out here every day on our YouTube channel, and I will keep you up to date here with everything going on here. You can click here to watch my newest video about checks going out to millions of Americans. And here's my newest video about Social Security raises of up to $2,400. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.